in a small village at the foot of the mountains, where life was full of hardships. His family was so poor that their house was built from old wooden planks, and whenever it rained, water would leak in everywhere. Daniel had no new books to study, no nice clothes, and no toys like other children. The only thing he always carried with him was an old radio that someone had thrown away. Even though it no longer worked, Daniel kept it as a treasure, hugging it every night and imagining the sounds of the world beyond. Amid all this scarcity, the boy still nurtured a small hope that one day life would get better if he never stopped trying. Despite the poverty, Daniel always saw learning as the only way to change his life. Every morning, after helping his father carry water, he would run quickly to school, crossing the dirt road full of stones and mud that left his feet blistered. Though it was tough, Daniel never missed a single class. He always chose a seat at the front, listening attentively to every word of his teachers and memorizing every lesson. In Daniel's heart burned a dream to become an electronics engineer. He wanted to repair the old radio he cherished, and more than that, explore the wonders of the world beyond his small village. This burning desire pushed Daniel to persevere every day, overcoming all obstacles and challenges, believing that only continuous learning and effort could help him achieve his goals. One day, Daniel decided to try fixing the old radio he had treasured for so long. He started collecting every stray copper wire and asked neighbors for broken electrical devices to disassemble and learn from. The first time he turned it on, the radio sparked and shut off immediately. The second time, it produced sound for just a few seconds before going silent. The third time, the entire circuit board burned black, nearly discouraging Daniel and tempting him to give up. The village children watched and mocked him. "You're too poor to fix anything. Why don't you go help your father earn money instead?" Daniel felt sad and frustrated, but he didn't let their words stop him. He knew that failure was part of the learning process. Each time he failed, he learned from it, fixed what was wrong, and tried again with the belief that perseverance would eventually lead to success. Despite many failures and being ridiculed by others, Daniel never gave up. Every evening he went to the village repair shop to learn more from the electrician. Looking into the boy's determined eyes, the man smiled and said, "If you truly want to learn, never stop." Those words became a source of strength, helping Daniel continue his difficult journey. He patiently replaced old chips, reconnected broken wires, and experimented with every method to get the radio working again. Each failure taught him lessons, guiding adjustments and new attempts. Though his hands were always greasy and his eyes tired from long hours of work, his heart burned with faith and an unquenchable desire to learn. Thanks to his patience and determination, Daniel gradually moved closer to his dream. He understood that success did not come from luck, but from constant effort and an unyielding spirit, no matter how difficult the challenges. After many days of persistent trials, Daniel finally made a breakthrough. One evening, when he switched on the old radio, the first sound came through, faint but clear. Hearing it, Daniel couldn't hold back his tears. Months of hard work, repeated failures, and tireless effort had finally paid off. He hugged the radio, feeling an overwhelming joy. This happiness was not just from repairing a broken machine. It was proof of perseverance, determination, and faith in his dreams. Daniel knew it was only the beginning, but it was enough to give him strength and belief that if he kept trying, he could achieve even bigger goals. The little radio was no longer a useless object. It had become a symbol of determination and resilience. Daniel realized that success does not come immediately, but each effort, each time we rise after failure, brings us closer to our dreams. A month later, the school held a creative contest for students. Daniel brought his revived radio to the stage. His heart raced, his hands still smeared with grease, but his eyes were full of determination. When he switched it on, sound filled the hall. The audience fell silent, then stood up and applauded enthusiastically. The laughter and mockery from before seemed to vanish. A professor from the city stepped forward, carefully examining the radio and looking at Daniel in amazement. He said, "This child has talent. This is exactly what we are looking for." At that moment, Daniel realized that all his effort, every failure, and every long hour of work had not been in vain. Daniel won first prize and received a scholarship to study in the city, opening the door to a brighter future. The little radio became a symbol for the entire village, proving that even from seemingly useless things, with faith and perseverance, people can create miracles. Daniel understood that true success comes from never giving up, no matter how difficult the challenges. Daniel's little radio was not only a learning tool, but also a symbol for the whole village. It proved that from what seems useless, if we persist and refuse to give up, we can still create wonders. Daniel always reminded everyone that failure is not as important as how we rise after every fall. Faith, effort, and determination are the keys to turning dreams into reality, no matter how difficult the starting point may be.